Detroit Lions win the final preseason game. A lot to talk about as roster cuts are right around the corner. Let's get into it. Lions defeat the Carolina Panthers in a funky ending, 26-17. A lot of good in this game. A lot of good and a little bit of a bad, but before we do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're 35 subscribers away from 36,900. If you're one of those guys, subscribe. Let's get it. With your help, it can happen. Let's get to the bad first because there's really not that much bad. First off, there's a couple injuries. Isaiah Buggs scared me, but he did get back up and he looked fine. Sudfield, not a lot of people are a fan of Sudfield, but I don't want to see any player injured, so he was carted off. Hopefully it's not, something bad for him for the long term. We definitely don't support injuries for our football team, even players whom we're not big fans of. Another bad, Will Harris. Jeez, man, at some point they got to be able to get rid of this guy. He lost for a touchdown. I think it was the second drive. Bryce Young threw it to Adam Thielen for a touchdown, and he got exposed. Okay, bad's over. With a minute and 22 seconds into the video, we're going to talk about the good, which is a lot. Teddy Bridgewater. I got to say, shout out to him. He looked very comfortable in the pocket, spreading the football around. He was 13 for 22. He had 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and he looked good. He looked command and comfortable. That's what you want to see from your backup quarterback. Last week, he was only there a week, and we want to see, can he make it a big improvement? And he did. For a backup quarterback, I thought he did perfectly fine. I am comfortable for him being the Lions' number 2 quarterback. And we're in good hands now. We have a reliable backup. If we have an issue with Jared Goff, if he needs to go down, or if he goes down for a couple of series, Teddy Bridgewater is fine to hold it. Really good to see from our Detroit Lions having a decent backup, and that's exactly what we saw there. Craig Reynolds was the running back for this game, 11 for 41. I love Craig Reynolds. He's our number 3 running back. He is the guy for the Detroit Lions. He got a touchdown, looked good, love what I saw from him. Benny Snell was 5 for 26. It's going to be interesting if he makes this roster or not, because you've seen a lot of Izigbo and Benny Snell. I think Snell gets it, but Jason Kabinda was in the game quite a bit. And so it's probably going to come down to Snell, Kabinda, and Jamar in the mix. I'm kind of rooting for Snell a little bit. I like what he saw, average of 5.2. When he was in there, he looked pretty good, in my opinion. So that's who I'm leaning towards. Okay, that's who I got going on there. Offensive line, the backups look so much better in this game and compared to the last 2 games. Sorsdale looked good. All the backups looked so much better. And that's a little bit of relief for our Detroit Lions to see that, okay, now they improved from last week and the week before. Could it be the lack of depth in players for the Carolina? It could be, but at the same time, the improvement was significant. It gives you a little bit of hope because the depth looked so bad the last couple weeks. It was worrisome. Looked much improved today. Much improved. James Mitchell was James Mitchell. He's making the team. The wide receiver battle just got to really, really interesting. I don't know who's going to win it because now it is, to me, it's absolutely 3. It is Antoine Green. It is Dylan Drummond, and it's Chase Cota. Chase Cota had a good couple catches, but then he had some drops. Dylan, in the first 2 preseason games, made some drops, made some big catches in this game. Antoine Green, 3 for 97 for that touchdown. These guys were duking it out back and forth to see who can make this roster, and I could not tell you right now who's going to get it. It was good to see. This is what you want to see from your wide receiver battle. Loved every second of it. I don't know who gets it. Maybe Green? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Let me know in the comment section, who do you think wins the final battle at the wide receiver position? I couldn't tell you. It's really difficult. I'd say 33% against those three, and whoever comes out with it, is the guy. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Really good. Kicking, so I was not really impressed so much from our kicker, Riley Patterson. 2 for 3. He missed an extra point as well. He missed, I think it was 53-yarder he missed. I was shocked. It was straight on. I was like, I just assumed he caught it, but it was short. It didn't make it, and then he missed the extra point. We didn't see Romo. That's a sign that Romo's not the guy, but does that mean that Riley Patterson is the guy? Could be. I don't know. They maybe they look for a field goal, another kicker. I don't know. But I think he definitely has the edge over Romo just because we didn't see him. We didn't see him at all. So who do you think's the kicker going to be for the Detroit Lions? Do you think it's going to be Patterson? Put P for Patterson. Do you think it's going to be Romo? Put R for Romo. Do you think it's someone else? Put E for else. The P, R, or E. Spam the comment section with those to see who wins it. Now let's get to the really, really, really good stuff, and that is the Lions defense. The battle going on right now for the cornerback position, the battle for that last spot. There's 3 players that come to mind, and one of them shouldn't even be coming to mind. It shouldn't even be a consideration, but for whatever freaking reason, he is on the consideration there. You got Will Harris. I've dogged this guy so much I don't want to do it anymore. Let's talk about the good. Chase Lucas and Stephen Gilmore. These guys were duking it out. Awesome to watch. Stephen Gilmore, now he's got 2 interceptions in preseason, 1 for a pick 6. He was just so good on the field, knocking balls down, staying with the receivers. It was amazing to watching the development of Stephen Gilmore. If he doesn't make this football team, he will get picked up by another team. There's no way this guy's going to make it to the practice squad. He has grown every single game, and you're seeing the growth of this young man. I want him on this roster. I love Stephen Gilmore. He is becoming a fan favorite with the ability that he is doing out there at the cornerback position. He has grown every single game. He's gotten better, and he's not making the same mistakes. That is amazing to watch. Chase Lucas, the same thing. Battling it out, knocking the balls down, fighting a ridiculous interception in the end zone. He Superman that bad boy, grabbed the football for an interception. Good pass breakups. These two are going head to head for that spot. Chase Lucas, if he gets released, he could be picked up by another team as well. That's how good these guys have been in preseason. I want them both somehow to be on this roster. I really do. I love what I saw. Will Harris, it shouldn't even be in consideration. Will Harris is not as good as those two. Will Harris does not have a ceiling of those two. They have already surpassed his ceiling. I will be very upset if somehow Will Harris makes it over one of those guys. It would blow my mind. MVP here is, I'm just going to go Stephen Gilmore, even though you could go Chase Lucas. I mean, he played really well as well. He had the interception too, and he was great in coverage. But Stephen Gilmore, it's a different level. He looks so fluid. He doesn't look like it's too big. The stage is too big for him. Just really damn good. Stephen Gilmore, God, man, I love this guy. I love it. I want to see him on this roster. I want to see him. If there's injuries to the secondary, Stephen Gilmore goes out there, I'm not that worried. Like, I can trust him. He looks like another Jerry Jacobs, maybe a little bit better than Jerry. And I love Jerry Jacobs. But Gilmore, he's got that in him. His brother, all pro. So, in his heyday, it's got it in the bloodline, and I love what I saw. James Houston was out there for a long time. People want to know that. I think it's because they just want to give him reps trying to build him more as a pass rusher. I think we know he's really good, but that's the reason why, for sure. When it comes to the quarterback, look, Martinez is a practice squad guy, and I think he'd be really good for a developing on the practice squad and for his dual threat ability to help out trained defenses. I think that's what I like about him. Levi Onwuzurike, he showed a lot of heart. He made some plays. I want him to make the 53. He's deserved it. He fought back from injury, his tail off. He's doing the grit thing. Make the roster. Levi should make the roster. So shout out to him for sure. A lot of good play from the Lions. Just a lot of good play. It was a really good game, a really fun game. For a preseason game, it was fun. It's going to be hard cuts, folks. These cuts are going to be really difficult because some good players are going to get cut. It's just going to happen. You can't get every receiver and you can't get every cornerback on this football team. It's going to be some tough cuts for Detroit. And it sucks because you don't want to lose these players. You don't want to lose the good players, but at the same time, it means that you got great depth all over this football team. But some players is going to get picked up by other teams. When the Lions cut, some players are going to get picked up. And that's the way it is. Great way to finish preseason off. Had fun. Now it's time. We need to focus towards the Kansas City Chiefs. All eyes on Kansas City on our way to Arrowhead to face the Super Bowl winning champions. And that's why you got to subscribe to the channel, because we're doing daily videos and we're doing live watch parties. Lions, KC, it's going to be epic. It's going to be fun. Make sure you hit the notification bell and subscribe so you don't miss out on the